My flashlight swept across the rubble and glinted off something pale. I reached down and lifted a creased photo from the dust. It was me within a dark suit with a woman and a small child in Boston. I recognized the State House dome. But I don't own that suit. I don't know that woman or child, and I have never been to Boston. The call came just after dawn, an incident at the Metro Railway project on the south edge of the city. By the time I arrived, the dig site was a mess of dust, twisted scaffolding, and men too shaken to work. They had been carving deep into the ground for weeks, boring tunnels meant to carry trains beneath the city. That morning, the soil had given way. A shaft opened where no one expected, swallowing machinery, leaving a scar that dropped into blackness. The workers stood back from the edge, helmets off, as if silence was safer. I edged closer, the air rising from the pit, cool and damp, carrying the scent of stone untouched for centuries. We lowered a light. It swayed, spinning slowly as it descended, and kept descending. 10 meters, 20, still no bottom. But then the beam caught on something unnatural, the straight line of a ladder, black metal, set flush against the earth. It went down, far beyond the reach of our lamps. No one had built it, not here, not now. The earth had opened, and the ladder had been waiting. My crew watched me, waiting for direction, waiting for answers. I swallowed, forcing my voice steady. Secure the perimeter. No one goes down until I say, but even as I spoke, I knew I would. The first rung groaned under my weight. Cold metal bit into my gloves, slick as if someone had polished it with water, though the air was dry. Harrison cursed behind me. Ruiz's helmet light flickered nervously, making me want to swear at him, but I kept my voice flat. Take it slow, I said. 30 feet down, 40. I couldn't hear anything but our boots and ragged breathing. This wasn't a normal tunnel. The rungs gleamed faintly, almost alive under my touch. At last, the ladder ended. I stepped off, boots crunching on dust, and the cavern opened before me. Jagged walls angled in ways that felt deliberate, unnatural. A shiver ran down my spine. Then I saw it. Something tucked into a fissure along the wall. A hard hat, a dented thermos, a folded jacket. Not abandoned, arranged, deliberate. My chest tightened. Whoever, or whatever, had left this meant for it to be found. I crouched beside the folded jacket. It was almost too clean, sleeves crossed like someone had taken the time to lay it out. The thermos stood upright. Nothing about this looked like a frantic escape. I ran a hand over the dust-covered floor. No footprints, no scattered tools, nothing but order and silence. I swallowed. Whoever or whatever was guiding this had a purpose. None of the men who'd vanished had come back up the ladder. I rose slowly, eyes flicking back to the black metal behind us. They hadn't planned to leave. The passage narrowed, shadows pressing closer with every step. My lamp flickered across the walls, and then I saw them. 3 figures, caught in silent, grotesque tableau. The first crouched in a pit, writhing in some burning, shimmering substance that seemed alive. Every movement made him wince, though no sound escaped. The second was bound in a narrow corridor, arms moving, twisting, striking against something unseen. Each time he tried to strike, his punch came back and hit him. Its efforts never connected. It was locked in a motion without result, endless and repetitive. The third hovered above a yawning chasm, suspended by cables or ropes biting into his limbs. He clutched fragile objects, which slipped again and again into the darkness below. I couldn't look away, though a wave of nausea rolled over me. They were trapped, suffering, utterly silent, yet each movement told of pain beyond comprehension. Harrison whispered behind me, "Detective, what is this?" I shook my head, heart hammering. "I don't know, but whatever this is, we shouldn't touch them." As we moved past the silent figures, my lamp caught a pale glint in the rubble. I crouched and pulled it free. A photo, edges curled, image sharp. It was me, dark suit, pressed, but beside me was a woman I didn't know, holding the hand of a small child. Behind them, the Massachusetts State House dome gleamed in the bright sunlight. Boston. I had been offered a legal trainee position there years ago. My chest tightened. How could this exist here, deep beneath the city, amid this impossible place? This life was not mine, yet there I was, frozen in a world I had never entered. Harrison leaned closer, whispering, "Detective, don't touch it," I snapped, heart pounding. I stared at the faces, alive, ordinary, and yet utterly alien. A life I could have had, choices I never made, a family I never knew. I tucked the photo into my jacket, forcing my mind away from it. The black ladder above us waited, the shadows ahead pressed closer. And yet, I couldn't shake the pull of Boston, the sense of another path I had never walked. The corridor twisted around me, walls slick and narrowing, the shadows stretching like they were alive. My lamp caught marks in the dust, a ledger square, a single line of numbers, a name half erased. I bent closer, heart hammering. The handwriting was mine. A memory hit me like a blow. One file, one decision, a bribe handed across a table. The quiet conversation where I agreed to bury an incident and let a man walk. I had thought then it was small, contained. Harrison and Ruiz lingered behind, voices hesitant. "Detective, what is it?" I swallowed hard. I don't know if I can, but I could. I could see it all now. The cavern wasn't just showing me suffering. It was holding up a mirror to that one corrupt choice, the choice that let someone else go unpunished. The cavern grew colder, the shadows folding around me like living things. The air thickened until it pressed against my chest, each breath heavy, each heartbeat loud in my ears. And then I felt it, a presence, not seen, but undeniable, vast, patient, judging. "You have come far," the voice intoned, calm and resonant. "Do you understand why?" I don't know," I said. "I've only been following the ladder." The three suffering figures were illuminated before me, each more grotesque than I remembered. The first crouched in a pit of glowing, burning fragments. The second twisted endlessly in the narrow corridor, hitting himself in the corridor walls. The third hung suspended over the chasm, fragile objects slipping from his hands into the void. "Look closely," the voice said. "See why they suffer." I stared, unable to turn away. "Greed," the presence continued. "Corruption." The first man was stealing from his company's inventory for years, marking the missing items as defective or lost. Every grasp of the fragments now burns him, a reflection of the harm he caused others. The second wriggled in impossible angles. Violence, murder. He struck life from the innocent. His punishment is endless motion, striking nothing but hitting himself, repeating endlessly because death cannot be undone, but justice endures. The third hovered over the abyss. Neglect, betrayal. He abandoned his newborn child. Each fragile object slipping into the void is a reminder of what he failed to protect, what he destroyed by his inattention. I swallowed, voice trembling. "So, the case is solved, right?" "No," the entity said. "You are not here by coincidence. You are guilty too." My stomach turned. I don't. You saved a criminal from justice. You altered records, ignored evidence, let him walk free. Your actions brought consequences, threads that reach here. You are implicated. Tears stung my eyes. "I have a family. I didn't know." "You knew. Every ledger you falsified, every testimony you allowed to vanish, every compromise has weight. You are here to witness it and to act." Harrison and Ruiz spoke, trembling. "Why are we here? We're innocent." "You were with him," the voice said. "You will not be harmed. You may return. Let this be a lesson. Heed it, so that your lives do not become tangled in corruption or carelessness." I collapsed, sobbing. "I have kids! They'll suffer because of me!" My hands shook as I clawed at the ground. "Please, I'll fix it. I'll make sure he is punished. I swear." The presence remained calm. "Then act. Do not falter. Do not deceive. What you failed to prevent in life may yet be corrected. You will not leave unchanged the weight of the suffering." The darkness and the judgment pressed down on me. I realized for the first time how far my choices had carried me, and how heavy the price of inaction truly was. I fell to my knees, chest heaving. I'll fix this. I'll find him. I'll make sure he pays. Just give me a chance to right what I've done." The cavern remained silent for a long, suffocating moment. Then, a low, mirthless laugh rolled through the stone, shaking the shadows. "Do you truly think I require your assistance?" the entity asked. "I could claim him at will, bend fate, bring justice instantly. You are unnecessary." "I don't care," I said, voice trembling. "I'll do it. I want to fix my mistake. I'll make this right." Another pause, then warmth threaded the presence, a subtle acknowledgement. "I am glad. I do not often see the desire to amend, only the despair of guilt. You may have your chance, but hear this clearly. If you run, if you flee, I will find you again. If you commit another crime, I will return, and there will be no negotiation." Relief washed over me, mingled with unease. I didn't know where to start, how to locate the criminal I had once saved, or how to ensure justice would follow. Yet the opportunity, fragile and terrifying, pulsed before me. "You have what you sought," the entity said. "Go and act."